Hello friends, welcome to Tulsi Classes Making Science a Passion. Today for ATC 2022 our topic is gravitation. I will write the formulas and explain it because time is very less. So let us start. Gravitation. First formula is F is equal to G m1 m2 divided by r square. If two masses are there, then gravitational force acts between them and it acts along the line joining the center of the two masses. So m1 and m2 are two masses and the separation between their centers is r. So this, according to this formula, force is directly proportional to product of masses and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them, and g is a constant. If you will remove this, then you will get F is equal to g mm. G is called universal gravitational constant. Its value is 6.67 into 10 raised to the power minus 11, and unit you can see here, unit will become Newton meter square. Unit will be Newton meter square per kg square, that is kg raised to the power minus 2. This is for universal gravitational constant. Now something about force of gravity. Force of gravity is the weakest force. Okay, gravitational force is weakest among these three. If I will write, then force, that is nuclear force. If question comes like which force is stronger between these two or these three, then you remember nuclear force is the strongest force. Then comes F, electromagnetic force. That means force between two electrons, electrostatic or electromagnetic force when electron is moving and creating magnetic field. So that is electromagnetic force. And the weakest force is force which is gravitational. See, I have written. Gravitational force is weakest, strongest is nuclear force among these three. And work done by a gravitational force is independent of the path. That means if gravitational force is acting between two masses and against it, if I will do some work, then it does not depend on the path taken. It is a conservative force. Meaning what? Gravitational force is conservative force means the work done depends on initial and final position. Now let me erase this. You can see here. Now what is the dimensional formula for G? We know force is equal to what is? Mass into acceleration. This is the dimensional formula for force. Now meter square, okay, and kg raised to the power minus 2. So dimensional formula, if asked, you will say dimensional formula of G. What you will get? It is mlt raised to the power minus 2. Okay, this is for force, multiplied by meter square means into you will do L square multiplied by kg, mass raised to the power minus 2. This you will do in the rough. This you will do in the rough only as usual because it is objective type question. So what is the formula that you are getting? 1 minus 2. That means mass will be raised to minus 1, m minus 1 L square t minus 2 is your answer. That means G, gravitational constant, its dimensional formula is this one, m raised to the power minus 1 L square t raised to the power minus 2. Now another concept that will be derived from F is equal to G mm by r square is, I am writing it, one correction here, this is L square into L, so it will become L cube, not L square. Okay, this is L cube. This is the dimensional formula for G, gravitational constant. Now let me erase it. This is the correction. Okay. Now if we take the distance to be r, capital R, radius of the earth, then we know force on an object, force on an object at the surface of earth will be how much? Force will be equal to G m by r square. This is the force, okay, and here capital M is mass of earth and r is radius of earth and m is the mass of the object. Now see, F is equal to g mm by r square. Also we know force is equal to mass into acceleration due to gravity. Mass of the object into acceleration due to gravity. M is object mass. Now from these two we will get what we will get, gmm by r square, gmm by r square is equal to mg, cancel m. So the value of acceleration due to gravity we can calculate by putting the values mass of the earth, radius of the earth and gravitational constant. G is equal to capital G into mass of the earth divided by r square, where r is radius of the earth. Now this was the thing how it came. Now I am writing this one directly. G is equal to gm by r square. Okay. So small g, that is acceleration due to gravity, is equal to gm by r square. And what is its value? What is its value? You know, 9.8 meter per second square, as this is acceleration, or 32 feet per second square. This is important. I am telling you students, this is important because whenever question in the question data will be given in feet. This was asked in 2021. Data was given in feet and it was not mentioned that the value is 32 feet per second square. So you have to remember, or this is SI system. Okay, and in CGS you will write 980 centimeter per square. 980. These three things you have to remember. Okay. Now G, you know, acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity. These are the thing. Now we will move to the next topic, that value of G, that is acceleration due to gravity, varies with two things. If we are increasing the height from the surface of the earth, then also it changes, and if we are going inside the earth, that means the distance is below the earth crust, then also the value of G decreases. And what is the relation between that? Let us move to that. The next topic is variation of G with height. How it varies? See, we know G is equal to gm by r square. That means if this is the earth, this is the radius of the earth, and suppose the object is at certain height, which is h, this height is h. Now what will be the formula? G will become gm divided by r plus h, the distance has increased, r plus h whole square. So this is the formula. The variation of G with height, you will put this formula and then find the answer if height is given. But one more thing, if height is very, very less as compared to the radius of the earth, if height is less, if h is very less than r, then G becomes, this is the derivation that I am not telling you because it will take time, G prime, because there is a change. Okay, this is not G, G prime. G prime is equal to gm by r plus h whole square. This was G. Now let us denote this. G prime will become G multiplied by 1 minus 2h by r. This formula you will put. If you will see that as compared to the radius of earth is approximately 6,400 kilometer. This is capital R, radius of earth. Now you will compare, if it is suppose only 100 kilometer or 40 kilometer, then you will put this formula, 1 minus 2 into h. H is the height above the earth's surface divided by r. These two formulas you have to remember, if h is less than r, otherwise normally. Now a question may come in objective type that how does or what is the kind of variation in g, small g, with respect to height. So you see, if we will represent, if you will understand this, then you will remember it forever, okay? You will never forget. If we know this r plus h, if r plus h will start increasing, then g prime will decrease. This is g prime or g dash will decrease. So as height above the earth surface, as the height of the object, this is object, above the earth surface increases, then value of acceleration due to gravity decreases. Okay. So I am erasing this. You know that 6,400 kilometer, these two formulas, if height is very much less than r, this is for very much less than this one, otherwise these two formulas you have to remember for variation of g with height. I am erasing this. Now as g prime is equal to gm by r plus h whole square, if h is equal to infinity, that means we are very far, at a very far distance, infinite distance, h is equal to infinity, then what g prime will become? Gm by infinity, which is equal to 0. So the acceleration due to gravity at infinite distance from the earth is 0. This thing you also remember. Okay, and that thing I have not written, the previous thing, that is g decreases, value of g decreases with height. This you remember. Now we will move to value of g, that is variation with depth. Okay. Now the variation of g with depth, the formula says here, the formula says that g prime, okay, g dash is equal to g multiplied by 1 minus d by r. This is the formula where d is depth or distance below the earth surface, distance below earth surface, okay, and r is as usual radius of earth. So g prime becomes g multiplied by 1 minus d by r. This is the variation with depth. One more thing, if it will be asked, or in the question sometimes it says that the value of g, now after certain height, after an object has traveled certain height below the earth surface, the value of g has become 1/3 of the original value. That means in fraction. So what will be the fractional change of g, fractional variation of g with respect to depth? That we have to remember now. Now as I have told you, question may come regarding fractional change. So what is fractional change in g due to depth? What will be the fractional change? So for fractional change, we have to first find the change and divide it by original value. So g minus g dash is equal to g minus g multiplied by 1 minus d by r. As you know now, this will become g minus g plus gd by r. This gets cancelled. So g minus g dash, that means absolute change in g is equal to gd by r. The thing that you have to remember is fractional change. If absolute change is asked, you will write this thing, gd by r. Fractional change will become, fractional change will be equal to gd by r divided by original, that is equal to, this was small d, sorry, that is equal to d by r. d by r is the fractional change in g due to depth, and percentage change in g is equal to d by r multiplied by 100. This much percent there is change. Okay, let's move to the next concept. Yes, regarding fractional change, for height it was left. So variation of g with height, this we were missed with height. You remember, actually what happens if the video becomes long, you are not watching. What is the thing that you have to do? You just pause the video. The thing that I am explaining, you understand it quickly, and then you take the screenshot of all the important formulas and write down in a notebook. So variation of g with height, we did, what was the variation? G prime was equal to g into 1 minus 2h by r, where height is very less than the radius. So here fractional change and percentage change. Fractional change in g is equal to, you will get it, g prime minus g. So this will become 2h by r. In this way you can calculate the fractional change, okay, and percentage change. Percentage change in g is equal to 2h by r multiplied by 100%. This is the thing. One question that may come in objective type is, what is the difference between the variation of g with height and the variation of g with depth? You see that both with height and with depth, the g is less than that on the surface of the earth. G is maximum at the surface of the earth. It decreases with height, it decreases with depth. Now, what is the difference between these two decrees that I am writing? You see here, twice as fast in case of increase in height as compared to same depth below the Earth's surface. Very important, please listen here, value of g decreases twice as fast. That means value of g sharply decrease in case of increase in height as compared to the depth, and its fraction is twice. Now, as I told you, value of g at infinity will be 0. In the same way, when we will reach at the center of the earth, at center of earth, acceleration due to gravity g prime is equal to 0. Remember, at center of the earth, you will feel weightless. And how this came? This came from the formula, that is g into 1 minus d by r. What is the depth? That is equal to r. Okay. So, as at center, d is equal to r. So 1 minus r by r is 1, 1 minus 1 0, that's why g prime is equal to 0 at the center of the earth. And now gravitational potential energy, if it is asked, it is a scalar quantity, you can find the value by directly putting the formula. Gravitational potential energy is equal to minus g m into m, both the object's mass. If one is earth, so that is capital M, and the object's mass divided by r. R is the distance. Okay, I am writing, this is not compulsory that r will always be the radius of earth. When we are talking about potential energy, then r is the distance between these two masses. I am writing here, r is distance between mass m and m. Between these two masses, r is the distance. So potential energy is equal to minus g m by r. If potential energy is this much, then what is gravitational potential? For that, we take the mass to be for 1 unit. 1 unit mass is taken to be unit mass. So gravitational potential, this is equal to how much? Is equal to minus g m by r, because we have divided the second mass. That means we are taking unit mass. So gravitational potential due to earth, if it has been asked, minus g multiplied by mass of the earth divided by radius of the earth. This is gravitational potential of earth, because r we have taken to be radius of the earth. And here also if you will write gravitational potential energy due to earth, then r will be distance between earth and small mass. You can understand this. This is gravitational potential formula. Okay, next thing. Now escape velocity topic. Escape velocity is a velocity. Suppose I will throw this marker. It comes back to my hand. If we will throw this marker with a greater speed, then it will take larger time to come back. Now there is some velocity with which if we will throw this marker, then it will never return back to earth. It will go out of the range of the force due to gravity by the earth. So how we can find that velocity? That velocity is found by writing kinetic energy of the particle at the top is equal to potential energy at the time of throw. So derivation is not necessary. If you will derive, then you will get this formula. Two types of formulas are there. If we are talking about small g formula, then root under 2gr. R is the radius of earth, g is acceleration due to gravity. And here r is the radius of earth, but m and g. M is the mass of the earth and g is universal gravitational constant. So these two formulas you have to remember. And for earth, escape velocity is equal to, value is 11.2 kilometer per second. With this velocity, if we will throw, the object will never return. Okay. One more thing. The escape velocity does not depend upon the mass of the throwing object. That is very important. Escape velocity, because you can see here, mass of the object is not required. Escape velocity does not depend on mass of object thrown. It does not depend upon the mass of the object that is being thrown. And VE, how I have calculated, because you will put the values, all the relative values, and then you will get the answer. Now coming over to satellites. Orbital velocity of a satellite. Its formula is r, radius of the earth, under root g, acceleration due to gravity, divided by r plus h, where h is the height of the satellite. H is height of satellite. How this formula came? As we know, centripetal force mv square by r, centripetal force on the satellite is equal to, and it is due to gravitational force by the earth. So centripetal force is equal to gravitational force gm m by, now what is this? gmm by, yes, r square. Now in this way, if you will cancel it, here it will get cancelled. So v will be equal to root under gm by r. And what is r? gm by r. It is equal to radius of the earth plus the height of the satellite. And this is height of the satellite from earth's surface. From earth's surface. That's all. Now how to calculate time period of satellite? There also you know time period is equal to, how to calculate, this is for circular motion, the derivation is there. No need to learn the derivation because no time is there and derivation will not help you. So directly remember this formula, time period of satellite, that is equal to small r cube. Small r is the distance, small r is distance between satellite and center of earth. This is the distance, small r. Gm, you know, m is the mass of earth. I am writing here again, m, mass of earth. And if the satellite is revolving close to earth, very close to earth, then what will happen? Then its time period as calculated becomes, I am erasing this, time period of a satellite, time period of satellite revolving close to earth is 84.6 minutes. This you have to remember, this may come in the exam. in objective time. 84.6 minutes is the time period of the satellite revolving close to the surface of Earth. Last topic is for gravitation. Last topic is geosynchronous satellite. Okay, geostationary satellite. Sorry, I am erasing this. Geostationary satellite, not geosynchronous. Geostationary satellite. Geostationary satellite. These are those satellites which will appear for a person. Suppose I am looking a geostationary satellite, it will appear to me at a fixed position throughout the year. Its position will never change with respect to me for geostationary satellites, because they revolve geostationary. If this is the Earth, then geostationary satellites revolve around the Earth with angular velocity equal to the angular velocity of the Earth. That's why no relative motion between the person standing on the Earth and the geostationary satellite. And what is the height? Height of geostationary. Stationary means from the Earth. Geostationary, it will appear to be stationary. Geostationary satellite. At what height this can be achieved? If you will put all the formulas, you will get 36,000 kilometer. 36,000 kilometer. Now friend, that's all about today's video. You can take a screenshot, you can pause the video. Derivations, a few I have told you how to do, one or two. Otherwise, derivations are not important. I have told you again and again. And wait for the next video. Subscribe the channel. If you like the video, then like it. Thank you.